Tacos, I want tacos so bad, but pizza also sounds pretty good. That's for another time. It is time to do the news, damn it. Let's get started fast, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you are enjoying your day. Today is the day that we do the Thumb on the Pulse, our bi-weekly news show at this point. This is where I fill you in on what's been interesting to me and what gets our hearts racing. Let's get right to it. All right, there's that faded moment. It's good. I'm glad to hear it. All right, guys, we do have a lot of fun stuff to go over. Normally, when we start Thumb on the Pulse, we talk about console information. Today, November 10th, the new Xbox Series X and Xbox Series S came out on the market. We have a friend of ours, Kankosaurus, who did manage to get his grubby little hands on one before I could. The bastard. But that's all right. We forgive him and we love him anyways. But there is a little bit of news coming out in regards to the Xboxes. It does look like Amazon is already saying that some of the pre-orders for the Xbox Series X won't even arrive until December 31st. I'd heard rumors of some other retailers having issues with that as well. I'm not exactly sure which specific ones, because I did hear, for example, Best Buy had sent out a notice that said they're selling quickly, so to call ahead to see if they still have any in stock, indicating that they'd already sold out of their pre-orders and still have stock left over. So we'll see how that works. The PlayStation 5 is being released in 2 days from now on November 12th as well. Sony has plans to have PS5 external game storage working in a future update to the operating system software. So hopefully with an update in the future, we'll be able to utilize our external hard drives that they announced that we wouldn't be able to use when the game console launched, as well as with the Xbox. Now, there is a little contrast between Xbox compatibility and PlayStation 5 compatibility with external hard drives as to where there is going to be an update in the future for the PS5. You won't be able to play your games directly off of that hard drive. You'll have to store them on the external hard drive, the USB external hard drive, but you can load them from the USB external hard drive onto the PS5 and then play the PS5 game at that point. Sony does have plans to release software on the PS5 to allow USB compatibility for external hard drives, but again, the catch to that is that the PS4 games won't be able to be played off of that external hard drive. You'll have to load them from that external onto the internal, which there's supposed to be an easy process for that, and then play them off the PS5 and then in turn store them back on the external afterwards. However, the Xbox Series X and the Xbox Series S consoles have a very simple approach. The external hard drive, apparently at launch, will also be able to be used to store and play Xbox One, Xbox 360, and original Xbox backwards compatible games, while you can still store Xbox Series X and Series S games on that external hard drive. You will have to copy them over to the internal Xbox Series X hard drive, or the compatible external hard drive that you can buy and plug directly into that back port on the Xbox Series S or X. Whew. So for both consoles, you have the opportunity to buy an external hard drive that is console specific, or you can utilize your existing external hard drives that you have for your consoles already, or may have like I do. You'll just have to load the games individually as you play them. Decent information. I also wanted to keep at the front of their minds the new Atari as well. There is a new Atari console coming out on the 27th of this month, so at the end. So if you're looking to branch out a little bit and get a different console, the Atari is coming out and should be basically like a at-home PC that you can plug into your television. Black Friday stores are supposed to be restocking before Black Friday as well. The Xbox Series X and PS5 both announced that before Black Friday they will be getting some retailers a stock dedicated for the Black Friday sales. No updates that I've known of from retailer mailers announcing that they're going to do sales on the Xbox Series X or PS5, but it's still early, right? That doesn't happen until after American Thanksgiving, so we'll see if we get any sales. Hopefully I can get my hands on one by that point. Now we're going to move on to some game news. We've got lots of update game news. We've got one announcement piece of news, and then some new releases that we've touched base on that we're going to talk about in the middle, and then right at the end we're going to talk about 3 games, one that just sounds really interesting, and then 2 that I'm pretty excited about myself. So let's just dive into the gaming aspect of it. We have already experienced a little bit On our end, as well as with some of our friends, the Apex Season 7 update. With the Championship Edition of Apex Season 7, you will be able to get 8 new items, including some awesome skins. You get a new weapons charms and some more of those things. It's going to be $39.99 for that Championship Edition. One of these days, I'll invest in one of those. With that Championship Edition, you will get access to all of the legends that have been released up to Season 7, including the new Season 7 legend, which is our new friend Horizon. Another female character, which makes 3 new female characters in the last 3 seasons. This one can multiply gravity with her new technology. She delivers black holes that actually suck in the players, so it makes them easier to shoot in one area. Not only do we get a new character, but we also get a new vehicle. A new vehicle, in my mind, the only vehicle that I've known in Apex. It's a hover car called the Trident. It is a 3-seater hover buggy. Try to say that 3 times fast. 3-seater hover buggy, 3-seater hover buggy, 3-seater hover buggy. That'll let you nip around the new map called Olympus. You get really high speeds. 2 passengers that are riding with the driver do have the ability to shoot from their side seats. It has the ability to run over people from what I understand. However, while sitting in the car, all members that are sitting in the vehicle do take damage when the vehicle gets hit. So that's a downside to that. Also with the new Olympus map, it's a whole new world that's actually suspended in the air up in the clouds. It looks super, super high tech. A lot of bright colors in the map this time around. It reminded me a little bit more of Fortnite in its color palette. There's multiple sculpted gardens cleanly divided by plazas and buildings that seem a little less industrial and more shopping center type areas. There are now clubs and the game's available on Steam. So a lot of new stuff that happened with this new Season 7 update. This also fully integrated all consoles except for the Switch. It was supposed to be the unveiling of the Switch version, but that's been pushed back. Unfortunately, we don't have any news on Apex or Apex Season 7 on the Nintendo Switch yet. So unfortunately, that's all the news we've got with Apex, but we will update you guys as soon as we can. We do have some new Animal Crossing news. Late this month, we will be getting a new Animal Crossing update that will include the Thanksgiving and Christmas events technically. I think they have different names for them. Yeah, they're calling it, instead of Thanksgiving, it's going to be a Harvest Festival event, and instead of Christmas, it's going to be a Toy Day event. So that's kind of fun, trying to keep it neutral so nobody gets upset with it. Lots of things have been added with this update. We got mushrooms that you can now do mushroom DIYs with, maple leaves on the 16th to have fun catching from the trees. So previously they had added where you can back up your island and then people can visit your island in what's called a dream state or the dream islands. Previously you'd have to go back and forth and then find names on a list and everything. Now they've got some sort of like a contact sheet or a contact list, the dream address book that you can choose from in the Dream Islands area. Lots of bug fixes, all sorts of new updates, so feel free to check out your Animal Crossing. I'm trying to get a little bit more vigilant with my Animal Crossing, at least making sure I'm doing the dailies more, so make sure you check us on Sundays where we do our once a week Animal Crossing update. Another fun thing to talk about with Animal Crossing is as it continues to be popular, more people continue to be innovative with it. There's so many mini games out there. People have found out ways to play Among Us in Animal Crossing, as well as soccer. We've talked about it before in the stream. Deal or No Deal, Mario Party type events. So feel free to search around the internet for that. We'll have some links down below if you guys want to check those out. If you guys have done that before in your Animal Crossing, if you know anybody that has, put that down below in the comments. We'd love to check those guys out and feature them on the channel. New Fall Guys news from the developer Mediatonic. Lots of updates happening later this week. They didn't have a definitive date on the update, but either today or later this week, they will have updates that include a brand new level called Big Fans. It's an all-fan level, which will be interesting to see what that exactly means. Lots of new variations throughout the game. With PC players, you actually can now pick your name instead of just having user ID number, blah, 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 blah. You can have a name to associate with your character, so that'll be fun and easier to spot your teammates on the map. You can have server region selectors now. Featured crown costumes are going to now be available in a regular store rotation, so it'll be easier to get some of those new featured crown costumes. Show selector now lets you queue for multiple shows at the same time. That way, if you have a bunch of different shows that you like playing predominantly, you can queue up for a bunch of different ones. That'll be fun. They'll be lowering the opportunities or lowering the chances of you getting the medieval rounds, the perfect match round, and the tail tag rounds, which is great news for me because I hate the tail tag rounds. Also be updating all sorts of fun stuff within Fall Guys, so check out that new update as well on Steam or on your PS4. As far as I understand, that's the only 2 places that's available still. As our picture shows, we do have a grounded update to talk about as well. There's going to be, I think it already happened, it was a November update. They're adding koi ponds into the game so you can interact with fish, which may be a good or a bad thing. I still have yet to decide. Again, it's been a while since we've dipped our toes into grounded, and I keep meaning to. There's new armor added to the game. You've got diving bell spiders now, which sounds absolutely horrifying. I'd imagine that means that when you're fiddling with those fish down below the water, you're gonna have to worry about spiders dive bombing you and coming and attacking you. Water fleas have now become hostile, as opposed to they were just a resource in the past. Now they are attacking people lots. There's 2 new passive creatures. We've got a water boatman and tadpoles. So now there's more creatures that you can interact with but not have to worry about dying. This was another fun one that I was excited to talk about as well. Among Us has been a personal favorite for friend games, for playing with my son, for playing with new friends. It's just a really interesting dynamic to put people into. There's a beta that was released last week, I believe, on the 3rd of November. The coolest features on this new Among Us update are threefold. One of them was really neat. They actually take the colorblind into consideration and have added a new colorblind support setting where a lot of the game is sussing different characters based on their colors as opposed to the names, because you can change the name so often and not exactly know who's lying to you all the time. The taskbar that kind of has been used in the past to decide whether or not you did or did not do a task. The taskbar has been updated. I think you have 3 different options now with the taskbar, to where A, you can run the taskbar as normal. It updates as people do tasks. B, you can do the taskbar update only at meetings. So every time there's a meeting, that taskbar will fill up. Or C, it eliminates the taskbar entirely, so there's absolutely no chance of utilizing that to suss out the imposter. And the last update is going to be anonymous votes. As far as I understand, this isn't going to be a turn off, turn on type thing. It's just something they've implemented. The anonymous votes allows you to still see how many votes are tallied for you and for other people, but this way you won't be able to tell who voted for you or who voted for other people, which kind of eliminates the tag team opportunities in that game as well. Genshin Impact is getting a bunch of updates. Let's see if I can power through these while also sounding like I know what I'm talking about. Getting 2 updates before the end of 2020. It's the one that's happening now, or for a lot of people tomorrow. November 11th was the original release date for the update. And then again on December 23rd with a new zone and improvements across the board. Just going to go through the bullet points real quick. We did get a new character on the 11th. I think there's 4 new characters. At some point, they're going to be improving the resin system. I'm not sure if that's going to be with this update or the next one. The feature to lock items and equip items is going to be implemented. Can you tell I've never played this game? You'll be able to use the food items without opening your inventory, which would be super beneficial. New player events. You get a new item to locate hidden chests and other collectibles. Dragonspine Mountain location is updated, and then the update 1.3 is going to happen in February, which will allow you guys to celebrate the Lantern Rite Festival, which is a New Year's event, we're thinking. So that'll be really fun to watch as well. Really fun to play. I promise I'm going to get into this game eventually. I'm just not sure when. Subnautica Below Zero is getting another update. Actually, it just got another update on October 29th. I know that seems like forever ago, but for me, it was just a couple weeks ago. For all of us, it was just a couple weeks ago. Subnautica is so close to being an absolutely finished game, which is what I'm personally waiting for. I did pay to have the early release of Subnautica Below Zero immediately after I beat the first Subnautica game. However, once we played it a few times on stream, it helped me realize that I'm not much of a beta tester, where at one point in my life, I had dreamed of being a video game tester in the industry. I've officially decided that that is not a title for me. Subnautica Below Zero, I may dip my toes into the game sooner rather than later just to see what those updates are. The storyline now seems to be finished. The voiceovers seem to be completely finished. The logs are in. The monsters have been made. The O2 is ready, and we got our wetsuits ready to explore. The game still is in beta technically with no release date yet, but we're hoping soon. But for now, we know that it's being worked on, and we'll give you guys an update on any release information for a finalized version as we see it. So we appreciate you guys coming back to the news to check up on stuff like that. We did touch base a little bit on Cyberpunk a little while ago. Unfortunately, we were hoping that we'd come with this news saying, oh, it's so great, we love it so much. But unfortunately, Cyberpunk was delayed. As everybody knows, it's delayed till December 10th of this year. CD Projekt said that the game is ready for PC, but the push pushback was primarily console based. They wanted to make sure that as good as the game was on PC, it was equally as good on all of the consoles. Other developers have noticed that Cyberpunk did push back its release date. In fact, there are some games that have been impacted by this release date that had intended on releasing their games in December, but now are pushing their release dates back further just so they don't have to compete with Cyberpunk. The developer of Path of Exile said that their expansion that they were expecting to release in December is now going to be pushed back till January, specifically because they don't want to compete with Cyberpunk. So Cyberpunk's pushback is affecting the whole industry, not just us fans that were dying to play it. There are some other games that I wanted to mention, kind of honorable mentions that have come out either a few days ago or coming out later this month. Faria is coming out on PlayStation 4 on November 3rd. Jurassic World Evolution comes out on Switch on November 3rd, or came out on November 3rd. That's another game I was super interested. Breathage comes out on PC on November 5th, so a couple days ago. Yestermorrow comes out on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC 2 days ago on November 5th. Dirt 5 came out on PS4, Xbox One, and PC on November 6th. So yesterday, as well as yesterday, not only did we get Dirt, but we got the Need for Speed Hot Pursuit remaster, which came out for all of the consoles, including PC. The Destiny 2 Beyond Light iteration came out today, and our buddy Kankosaurus is playing that live on stream if you'd like to check it out. Demon Souls and Spider-Man Miles Morales come out in 2 days from now, November 12th. Those will be releasing with the PS5 console release. So excited about a lot of those games. If you guys are excited, again, please comment down below. Let me know if any of them strike your fancy, if you've played any of them or intend on. All right, now this one sounded really interesting, both to my researcher, Eternal Foxfire, as well as myself. Turnip Boy commits tax evasion. This game is entirely based on taxes. You play as an adorable yet troublemaking turnip. You have to avoid paying taxes, solve plant-tastic puzzles, and harvest crops as you battle massive beasts, all in a journey to tear down a corrupt vegetable government. This is an action-adventure puzzle game, kind of like an early Zelda. So if you guys are interested in a really random title to maybe check out, that's one that you might want to consider. One that I'm extraordinarily excited about and really intrigued to try, also will be trying the demo on Twitch, is Hyrule Warrior Age of Calamity. Like I mentioned, the demo is out now. You can download it on Switch. This is a drive back into the Breath of the Wild storyline. This is a prequel from the Breath of the Wild story. You're going back 100 years to find out just why Link got put to sleep. Just like Hyrule Warriors, it is developed by Tecmo and features Dynasty Warriors style. It's a hack and slash gameplay that's mixed with the Zelda elements. In addition to Link, you've got all of the other Hyrule characters that you get to play. Also, Age of Calamity characters, you get to play as Princess Zelda, Young Impo, and the 4 champions of Hyrule, Revali, Daruk, Urbosa, and Mipha. Very excited to kind of see some of those characters, like Mipha's relationship with Link. I'm excited to see all of those people interact in something other than cutscenes. The official game comes out on November 20th is when it launches for the Switch. So again, if you're looking for a new Zelda iteration, that's going to be one for you. I'm pumped on it to see how it works. Lastly, we are going to touch base on a game that I intend on putting many hours into. I've also tried to make plans to play some of the 2 previous games that came before this one, but releasing today, you guys, is Assassin's Creed Valhalla. The Viking lore that's going to be included, the way they're intending on linking this game with all of the other games, not just Odyssey and Origins, but also going all the way back to the first Assassin's Creed. This is supposed to tie all storylines of Assassin's Creed together and kind of wrap it all up into one nice, neat little package, and yet not be the last title. They by no means are intending on wrapping things up and finishing things now. They're just tying together loose ends so they can keep going. The main character is going to be a Viking raider who's leading their clan away from a war-torn homeland, Norway, and trying to get to England on their adventure and journey and escapades to England. The main character you play has the same name. I'm not going to try to pronounce it because it's Norwegian. Regardless of your name, you get to decide whether that main character is male or female at the beginning. As far as I understand, it doesn't change the storyline one way or the other on whether you're female or male to start, but Ubisoft does promise that the combat will take cues from true Viking style fighting. They've also reworked the combat system, so now you can dual wield as well as other Viking style tactics. Like I mentioned before, Valhalla is going to connect to Origins and Odyssey as well as all of the other games, so look forward for little Easter eggs from other Assassin's Creed titles. If you pre-order Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which unfortunately is too late, but if you did, you do get to access a bonus mission that won't be available to others until later, dubbed The Way of the Berserker. There wasn't a lot of information released on that extra mission at time of research. I don't doubt there's a lot of people that are playing it now that they've got their Xbox and they've got their copy of Valhalla. So if you guys get to play it and play it before me, which most likely is the case, again, comment down below and let me know how you guys are liking the new games. Comment down below and let me know if you guys played any of the new releases that we talked about in the middle. And let me know if you guys have any other information that I might have missed as with Thumb on the Pulse. But honestly, guys, this was a short and sweet episode this week, so I'm going to go ahead and end it there. Thank you for being here, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Feel free to comment if you get an opportunity to. Tell all your friends. I hope you guys learned a thing or two about the things that I learned about when I had my thumb on the pulse. I hope you guys have a great evening, and we'll see you guys next time.